Pledge.
Right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joe, I was going to propose just making that agenda change after this, so I move that we just stick old business, or I'm sorry, new business above old business on the agenda. So if there's a second, that takes care of that.
Oh, second.
All right, done deal.
Then we could get rolling.
All right. So can I get approval of the agenda?
Move approval
Second that.
with that change, of course.
Okay, all those in favor?
Yep.
Aye. Aye.
All right, can I get approval of the minutes?
Move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so new business.
On the bylaws, the obvious things that I reviewed it again today, but on section C under purpose, I don't know. It says we're supposed to meet with townships independent auditors before and after each audit, monitor the progress, blah blah blah. I don't know that that's ever been done. Has that ever been done since any of you have been on the committee?
No.
Not.
Because I haven't been around. So, I mean, is that something that we should keep in there?
Well, an easy fix to that would be instead of shall, you just say may.
May.
It's a good point, Mike. Good one. I'd like to. I think it'd be cool. Love to take those guys out and
I didn't hear you.
love to meet with the auditors. Wouldn't that be fun? So I like your suggestion there.
So legally, shall is you have to do it. May means you can do it if you want to, or if it comes up. So,
Okay.
if that's an issue, I guess I would move that section C become a may instead of a shall, or that we discuss
I like it.
amending that. Is that what you were looking for, Joe?
Did you have other sections you wanted to amend before he makes a motion?
Or do you want to do it each
Do
time?
you have other sections of this you want to amend, that you would propose to amend?
Well, it's up to you guys. I don't have a vote in this.
Well, do you want to, the question I think Kim's asking is, do you want to, are there other things, and we can make one motion for everything you want to change?
You mean in that section C?
No,
the
in the
entire
whole
bylaw.
document.
Oh, in the whole document, okay.
Yeah.
So what you want to do in section C is change shall to may?
Yeah. That
I
way
think
they
that
can-
makes it more
Okay.
flexible.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah,
thing
I
was,
think we're looking for the flexibility. I like that. Okay.
Under membership, section D says period of service shall commence on July 19th of the year appointed and end July 18th of expiration year. I don't think we do that either.
No, I've been doing it January 1 to December 31st.
Then I think we should change the bylaws to reflect that.
Okay.
Yep.
What about, Kim, when we're appointed in the middle of the year? It seems like I started in the fall. I might be wrong, but, he's starting today.
Well, that's because
you
we
know.
appointed him at the December meeting with the start date of January 1. So
Okay.
that's what I've been, as you guys expire your terms, I've been upping them and changing them to be January 1 to December 31st.
Perfect. Okay.
He's just filling out an unexpired term.
Yeah.
Is he?
If he was appointed to do that, yeah, that's what it's termed as.
But I think I appointed him to do a new, I don't think I appointed him to anybody's expired term.
Okay.
There might have been because we have 2 empty seats, that's why.
But either way, there was somebody on it before, so if they withdrew, they would be open, and then they would just serve out whatever that term is
True.
for that person.
You're
True.
right. Yeah.
Time does that Xavier game start tonight, by the way? Is that 7? 7:30? Yeah, all right.
We'll keep moving.
So everybody's got a
all
priority.
right.
All right,
It's
so
not-
we
it's
just
not a home
changed
game.
it to January, on January 1, and expires December 31st, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What else you got, Joe?
On section E, under membership, it says, unbroken service of any member shall be 2 full 3-year terms. Well, on the previous page,
It's
you're
interesting.
appointed to a 5-year term.
So change 3 to a
So
5?
It should be changed to 5-year term.
Can't get rid of us for a few years still,
Yeah,
huh?
right.
Okay.
But there have been times.
Sure there are.
Be impeached.
Yeah, right. So we need a motion for that.
Well, why don't we
Well,
just do it all at
I was
once?
we'll
gonna
do
say.
it all at the
Oh,
end.
we're gonna do it all
thing
at the
Yeah,
end, okay.
that's why I asked you
Under
if you had any more.
meetings, number 2, notice all members shall be given by phone not less than 48 hours before the meeting. You know, we live in an email age. I don't think we have to phone anybody.
Please don't.
I would just say by,
Just notice.
Yeah, by notice.
yeah.
Where is that? I'm
Scratch by
sorry.
phone.
Oh, down
Number
here.
2
Got it.
under 5.
Yep, got it.
Yeah.
What are we saying? Notice to all members shall be given not less than 48 hours, so just strike by phone?
Strike by
Yeah.
phone.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was it. I didn't have anything
So,
else.
see, we should have a chair and a vice chair, you guys.
Well, that was the other thing that's on the agenda, too.
I think on item 7, the members shall serve with compensation. I'd be
Yeah.
for
The hell's- you're damn right. What are we doing? 1,000 a meeting? Does that sound good, you guys?
Look at him.
that. Look how he doesn't even react. He doesn't even react to that.
It feels like, okay, take it out of my end.
I mean, I just want PERS and benefits. Is that
Yeah.
not much to ask? I mean,
Rick, there's a lot of carryover here that would support a few $1,000s for a meeting, don't you think?
So I would move that.
Is that it?
I guess Roman numeral 1, section C, change to May.
Shall
Roman
to-
numeral 2, section D, be changed to January 1, where it says July 19th, and July 18th would be to December 31st. Section E of that same Roman numeral 2 would be a 5-year term instead of a 3-year term. And then under Roman numeral 5, we would eliminate by phone out of that section. So I would move that those things be amended.
I'll second that.
There was one other thing,
Oh.
too, that I forgot. It states in here under officers, section 3, officers.
Yep.
It says officers shall be elected at the July meeting and take office August 1st.
Should be January.
Yeah.
Do we meet in January?
Oh, we
When did
don't.
meet?
You
It's
could put
February.
that-
Yeah.
But I mean,
How about the first
we
meeting of
don't-
the year?
We
Okay.
don't currently have a chair and a co-chair. And I know when I first started, the first meeting I was at, we had a discussion on, did you want to do that or not? And at that time, everybody was kind of in agreement, just let it be loosey-goosey the way it is now. And I think by preference, there probably should be a chair and a co-chair, rather than, since I have no vote anyhow, I think that would be better for that too.
So you could change it, officers shall be elected at the first meeting of the calendar year and take office on the same date.
Agree.
Okay.
So I would also move that into the same motion on Roman numeral 3, section A, number 2. Is that a good proposal, Joe?
Officers should be elected first meeting of the year.
Of the calendar year.
So you said what? They should be elected at the first meeting?
Officers shall be elected at the first meeting of the calendar year and take office on the same date.
One thing I noticed too is that under membership, A, number 2, township clerk needs to be changed to fiscal officer.
Where are you?
First
Under-
page, membership A, number
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
We don't have a township clerk anymore, it's called fiscal officer.
Oh.
We can make, I would move that that also be changed under 2A2, Roman numeral 2, section A, number 2, the township fiscal officer who shall be non-voting and ineligible to hold office. So I would add that to the same motion.
Joe, why don't we just do the officers at the next meeting? How about that? Just to clear that up.
At the next meeting?
Just so we
Okay.
can dive into this stuff today.
Okay.
Of course, if we have the next meeting in Colorado, let's just say, look, we could get reimbursed, it says, for expenses incurred. Kidding. All right, I seconded that stuff that you said, right? Are we good on this? I think we're good.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
No? Does anybody else have anything else that they would like to see changed?
Thanks. It's exciting.
The compensation is not going to be added?
Compensate,
in
can we go,
favor?
can we revisit that? Yeah, is it too late?
All those in favor signify by saying
Yeah.
aye.
Aye. Our de facto chair, Kim. Thank you, Kim.
Sorry. All right, old business.
Before we get to that, I was going to say, I know we scheduled this in February, for February. I missed the last meeting, but I do think it would be good for scheduling that we pick at least set dates, kind of like we did a year ago. I think that'd be good to plan around, so,
Okay.
especially for me. So,
Agree.
then we can do that whenever we want to at the end or beginning. I just wanted to put that out there.
Do we have the next meeting scheduled? I can't.
That's why
No,
I don't
we
think
didn't. We
do.
only scheduled this meeting.
All right, so let's make sure we do it before we leave.
Yeah. I'm not saying we have to do it now, but I wouldn't mind having it set. It's easier for me to schedule with kids and sports and everything that I do.
Well, how many meetings do we need?
We did 4 the last time.
Quarterly,
I don't
right?
think we need 4, but I mean, we could do, I think we could get away with 3. Because I feel like the one, we didn't really do much, but I mean, I'm open to discussion on it. I'm just saying, last time we scheduled 4, I think 3 is probably more accurate, but.
Joe and Kim, when is the budget due to the county?
July 15th,
Okay,
so I was thinking May.
okay. And then, is there a revise to it? Is there a?
Could be, I mean, or we could just do June and then have it due, you know, it would have to go to the trustees by July 5th, and then
I
to
think
the
do it
county
in
by the
May
15th.
or June, early June. I think early June would be good, just to make
Okay.
sure. Yeah. If we had one February, like every 4 months, February, June, and then
June.
another one at the end of the year, like November, before the holidays, I think we
Yeah.
cover what we need to do. But
Okay, so February.
Day of the week's good for you guys.
June.
I always have my kids Monday and Tuesdays, although I have one driving now, but, I mean, Wednesdays are always better for me. So,
So that would be October. If we did every 4 months.
yeah.
Does that work? Late October?
I mean, if we did
Yeah.
like January, February, then June, and then October, I think that
February,
covers.
June, October.
Yeah.
Does that work?
So what's the day in June?
He's usually a Wednesday guy, so
That works for us, I think. New guy? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday?
New guy. How are you?
Jody, this is Mark. Mark,
Yes,
that's
I've met
Jody.
him before. Sorry,
Oh,
Mark.
yeah,
I was
you
just,
got
I
interviewed.
thought
Why
it
don't
was
we-
6:30.
I was gonna suggest like,
I was early.
I mean, I know vacations and things, but like either the 8th or the 15th. And we can even pick the October date too.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any?
I'm good on the 8th.
The 8th?
I'm good the 8th.
Yeah, the 8th, especially in June, we have a zoning commission meeting on the 15th, so the
So-
8th would be good.
The 8th for finance,
June
and then
8th.
Hang on here.
It's a 6 o'clock on the 8th.
Yep.
and then if we did October, We could do it on the 12th.
No, the 12th would be preferred.
In what month?
October.
October.
And just, then we could pick dates for the following year in October.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for leading that,
So we
Mike.
got June 8th and October 12th. Month.
All right, works for me.
Works for me.
October 12th, gang?
Should be done with baseball by then, hopefully. I just got done coaching 2 basketball games, 2 basketball teams.
You said, I'm sorry, October 12th.
October 12th, 6
October
o'clock.
12th, yeah.
Anybody want a bottle of water?
I'll take one, Judy. Thank you.
No thanks.
So, got that done.
John, okay.
All right?
6 to midnight, right? That's what we're doing?
No.
Midnight. Thank you. Okay.
All right, is there any particular item anybody wants to discuss? I know that Rick had done the spreadsheet.
Are we ready for the meat of the meeting here?
Yep.
Rick, you want to lead this part, man? You're pretty good at walking us through some of the challenges and.
Well, I usually start at page 1. Just got a few things highlighted, but for 2022, we're gonna go from 637 to 693 in revenue.
Which page are you on?
Page 1.
Which one? The appropriation status?
See.
Okay.
MRC? That's what I meant to say, sure. That's cool.
Thanks for asking, though.
So you got Larry, Rick, Mike.
Are you in the general fund?
I mean this.
The
big
general fund
spreadsheet.
spreadsheet.
Right, but are you on page 1?
Page 1,
Okay.
general fund.
Okay.
1000-101.
Okay, so what's your question?
The revenue, it was 637 in 2021, and we're pegging it at 693 in 22.
Again, that is not our determination. That is the county auditor has told us that is what your certificate of estimated resource is, and that's the number we all have to live by.
Okay, that's a pretty nice increase. Okay. Liquor permit fees, 1,000-533. It's going from 24,000 to a budget of 10,000.
The year before that, I think
Was
we
21.
Yeah, it was the year before that. It was one of these years where we got a lot less than what we budgeted. I can't remember.
I'm just- The reason I question is based on liquor sales these days. They don't project that to go anywhere but up.
Yeah, but we don't get I don't think that's how it works for townships. We get a certain portion of the liquor license itself.
Yeah, that's new licenses. I think.
Yeah,
Not
it doesn't have
necessarily
anything to
sale
do
of-
with sales.
Okay.
No.
So that was a stab in the dark because at the time when we did this in July of last year,
Okay. 1,000-892, other miscellaneous non-operating, 821,000 in 2021, and a budget of 10,000 for 22.
that was ARPA money. So we got
American Rescue Act.
$780 something thousand in the ARPA money. So we deposited it in the general fund, and then we paid ourselves back for some lost revenue, and then we transferred it out at the end of the year, and it went into the ARPA fund.
Okay.
So this year, we won't be putting it in the general fund, we'll be putting it in the correct fund, which is the 2272 that we set up.
Okay. That would be one of those that over on the right-hand side in the
Yeah.
description to note that. Had that been noted, I probably wouldn't have asked the question.
Appreciate the notes that are in there for what that's worth.
Joe, you got 2 assistants now?
No.
Yes, I do.
You have 2 assistants. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
One. Yeah.
Okay. So that's new.
She's just temporary, though.
Yeah.
She's just organizing the files.
If you want old records brought up to date from 30, 40 years ago, it takes a little bit of extra work.
Can I ask, so Jana's retiring, it says here, huh?
She's gone.
She actually
gone.
left already in December.
Yeah, wow.
So we're down a person right now.
Who's in that role now? She was a big help for me, anyway.
We don't have anybody at the front desk right now.
Nobody's at the
I
front
know,
desk.
I've been sifting through resumes and doing interviews, so.
Is that
Wow.
full-time?
Yeah.
Huh, it's a
With
good
Tell them how
opportunity.
many
With PERS-
applications you got.
With PERS and benefits?
How many showed up?
We actually almost 300 is what we're up to now, and so it's been really time consuming to go through all the resumes, and so far I've had 4 interviews. So I got 4 more on Friday and 2 more on next Tuesday.
Okay, so we'll fill it here in the next month or something, right?
What's that?
Okay, so it'll get filled here pretty soon in the next few
Hopefully, yeah.
weeks.
My goal is to have it to them to approve it by the April meeting.
300 resumes. Good luck with that. Wow. It's a cool job for the right person, you know? Okay.
Yeah. We were thinking about changing them a little bit, but right now, we're
Okay.
gonna get someone hired because it's gonna become park season and it's our busiest season, so we gotta get someone.
Yeah,
in
for
there.
sure. Okay.
110-311, the legal and accounting services. We're projecting going from 41,000 to 70,000 this year. What,
I gotta get my glasses on this, please.
Yeah, it's small print.
I know I had to use a magnifying glass.
At least it's all in here.
This includes all our legal fees and our accounting fees, so whatever our lawyer charges us plus whatever our accountant charges us. I think I usually budget 50-ish for legal fees, and then accounting fees, it's anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. So that's why I just put it at 70, just in case. You just never know with legal.
But we only spent 41 last year.
Well, that's last year. Just
Yeah,
because we
but you gotta
spent that
remember, this
last
year
year.
we had, what did we have?
Yeah, I think
as
we're
far
okay
as
with that.
the,
Seems like a lot, but you never know, right?
Yeah, you just never know
You
with,
don't.
Yeah, you just never, yeah.
just never know with anything anymore.
It's not getting cheaper.
No, it's not.
That's for sure, huh?
That's a lot of the reason a lot of stuff has gotten really expensive from last year, from 2020 to now. I mean, we are paying astronomical rates for building materials, fuel. Our fuel costs have probably tripled since the last time.
Is that the same thing for contracted services, 110?
Yeah, everything has gone very high, so.
So 760-730, improvement of sites.
760 what, Rick, sorry?
760-730, improvement of sites.
Okay, on the back.
Yeah. Service garage build. Are we building something in '22?
Yeah,
We're
we talked
looking
about
at
this
our
many
service
times.
garage. Remember, we've been
The
talking
service
about it
building.
for a long time. This is nothing new.
Pole barn.
Pole, you know, to protect our equipment.
Right. But we were talking about something other than a pole barn at one time.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of stuff, so what's the bottom line? What are we doing?
I think right now we're at just putting an addition on the building that we already have. So it'll be a pole barn that's going to be added to our service department garage.
Yeah, and it has to meet EPA standards.
Yeah.
For the washout.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, you know, a pole barn.
So it'll be on the right end of that building, is that what, as we're
Yeah, like when
looking
you're
at it?
looking not at our building, but the building next door to ours, that, we're just going to add on bays at the end. So it's going to look like an L shape, most
Yeah.
likely.
Okay. Rick, you okay with that?
Yeah, I just, again, you know, it would be nice to say something about pole barn over in there.
Or extension,
Description.
right?
We
Expansion
know.
of the building?
Well, actually, I'm not using this fund for that. This says repave the parking lot when the service garage is built. So this is money that we're gonna set aside to repave the lot. And then the money that we're gonna use for the building is actually gonna come out of the ARPA money.
Okay.
Pete, have you met Mark?
New guy. Old guy.
I got a big cut in it, so I can't really do anything with it, but
Thanks.
it was close.
Giving the ER something to do?
Yeah. I went with the slowly wait for the bleeding to stop myself here.
That's all I had in page 1 and page 2.
I got one thing here, Rick. So
6:30 was our start time, right? Am I late?
6.
She already thought 6:32 actually, so
2 demerits.
Yeah.
you're not late. You didn't miss anything.
So
Kick you off the committee, Pete.
Oh, that's the best news I've heard all day.
hey,
I'm just kidding.
easy now. I would fight to keep Pete, actually.
I know, I was just giving him crap.
All right, Kim, question
Yeah.
for you. Top of page 2 on the back side, need to increase due to banking fees. So I'm on line 599, so 110,599. What's
Are
up?
you still in the general fund?
Yes. So 1,000, 110, 599. Your note
Other
says,
expenses? Oh,
yeah, just I'm curious about the increase of banking fees. So
Well, we didn't account for that last year, and then when we do all the meter investments, I forgot that we have to put it somewhere, so it's gotta come out of the other category,
Yeah.
so that fee is almost $700 a month, times 12, plus our regular banking fees through Fifth Third for all the warrants that we process, plus all our check fees that we have to buy whenever we buy them, and we buy them in like, what is it, $300 or $400 every time we buy checks. So it's like all those fees rolled into that. That's why we had to increase that.
yeah, I was just curious what they were. So you answered the question. That's,
Eventually, could we go on, do everything online? Is that possible for us?
To pay bills?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm just asking.
We could, I mean, we could pay a lot of stuff online. We can pay a lot of stuff with the credit card too, and then you wouldn't have to process warrants.
Do you have any comments on that?
it's just something to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, just jump in, because we just went kind of.
I was throwing that out there.
Well, Fifth Third wants us to do that.
Do they?
Yeah, but the work they want us to do to get prepared for it is like
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah,
work to
isn't
get
there
ready
a
for
trade-off
it.
there? Yeah.
trying to get them to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had one question, if there's a pause here.
Yeah, we're just trying to go in order through the thing. Yeah, go ahead. Pete.
I think we talked about this last time, I can't remember what it is. In the general fund, we had a big bump in revenue in 2021 and other miscellaneous non-operating. Can you remind me what that is? Because I didn't think
That's
it
the
was-
one we just talked about.
It's
Oh,
the
okay.
ARPA money. So what we did was we deposited it. It was like 789,000. We deposited that into the general fund because remember how you can't transfer? Like once you put it in a special revenue fund, you can't transfer it back out. So I put it in the general fund and then we paid ourselves back for lost revenue and like hotel motel tax, liquor permit fees, we paid ourselves back. What else do we pay ourselves back for?
So is that in addition to the, it shows up on the ARPA sheet that you sent out. Do we get two or is it?
We're gonna get one this year and one last year. So we get like $1.4 million total. But the reason I put it in the general fund is because I had to pay ourselves back in the general fund. And then I paid ourselves back in the motor vehicle license fund where we lost money there. And then I paid ourselves back for the money we lost in the county permissive motor vehicle tax license because we lost money there. And then I took whatever remainder we had and then transferred it out into the ARPA fund. So,
Because the ARPA says it has 651,000.
yep, that's after we did all the transfers.
So it was,
So,
so the gross amount was the 650 plus this 820?
no, the gross amount was 720 789, 785, so it's the 605 minus the 785 minus 605 is the difference.
Okay, but this is 820 in the general fund, 820,000.
Yeah, so we get other miscellaneous money. Trying to think of a good example.
Franchise fees, is that separate?
No, they go up in,
It's a lot more than we've ever gotten in that section before, so I was just trying to.
we've gotten refunds through Ohio Bureau of Workers' Comp this year. We got a ton of refunds in 2020, and I think maybe some in 2021. We get sorta fees, so we get revenue from the park and ride at this building. I'm trying to think, what is some other? I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it was 60,000 in 2020 and then went to 820 in 2021, so I assume that was mostly the one-time.
It was, but then we get other miscellaneous money that doesn't fit in any of those other categories, so we have to put it in other.
Okay, all right. I was trying to go back to the point we've talked about before a lot on why do we have such high balances, and from looking at it now that we had 2021 final data in, it's like we got a big chunk of money in from a couple different places of unexpected revenue. And then it looks like 2020, we just spent less, like everybody spent less because everything was closed.
Right.
And you combine those two together, and it's like, this is why we're further ahead than we thought.
Yep, and then in 2021, the reason why we have high encumbrances going into 2022, or not encumbrances, we have high carryover, is because we still have about 10 things that we ordered last year that we still have not gotten. So we still have not gotten our dump truck. We still have not gotten fire equipment. We still don't have the final bill on our sidewalks for Union Cemetery. So that comes out of the TIF fund. We still have not gotten, what was that list I had?
Police vehicles.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten the fire vehicle, because we ordered that last year. We still don't have that.
It was a new fire truck, wasn't it?
No, it was a supervisor's vehicle that we ordered. But we just ordered two police cars. But there's no guarantee that we'll get them this year either. So we're just, I mean, we have to appropriate the money, we have to encumber it, and then we're having to ride it out to see, are we going to get it this year? Are we going to get it next year? Do we have to cancel it and start over? We've had to do that with fire gear. We had to cancel it and start all over. So this year we'll be ordering double the amount because we didn't get any last year because there was none to be had. So that's another reason why we spent less in 2021 than we thought too, because we ordered it but it never came in.
But you've got all that built into 2022's expenses.
Right, because we had to cancel all those purchase orders at the end of the year, and then we had to reopen all those purchase orders.
Right.
And encumber them this year versus last year. So that's why at the last meeting, we had to increase appropriations in some of the categories because we didn't have the money available to appropriate, so we had to reappropriate it.
Okay.
Especially in the gas tax fund because of the dump truck, because we didn't get the dump truck last year. So we had to increase the appropriations. I think it was like 109,000, if I remember. Yeah, 109,000.
129.
Well, I think we already had money plugged in there for something else, and then it was delayed. Oh, because we're buying a street sweeper, and then we're buying a new reach arm mower. So we had those two things plugged in there too.
Aren't we sharing the street sweeper with Sycamore?
Yep. Yep, and then we're sharing the reach
That's a
arm
good
mower
idea.
with Amberley Village too.
Note the note on that dump truck, I'd starred this. It reads, replace small dump truck delayed until 2021. So I'm on page
Yeah, that one was
3.
delayed until 2021, and then the big one we ordered last year, and it still has yet to come in. It's like, it's built, and it's sitting in a lot in Michigan, and it's been sitting there for months.
Man, I'll drive it down here. That'd be a blast.
It's been sitting here.
Is that all we're waiting on?
Well, it's waiting on a chip.
Oh, a chip. That's what, like everything.
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that's usually the big holdup with all this equipment is there's not enough chips to go around, so it gets built, and then it just sits there on a lot, and nobody can use it.
I was thinking road trip for the finance committee or something.
No.
Have fun with it.
Doesn't have a
Wouldn't
chip,
it?
so it
Come on,
wouldn't be
man.
able, it probably
We
wouldn't
could-
even turn
yeah.
on.
Get out of my way.
Just driving a dump truck sounds like fun
Like the Blues
sometimes.
Brothers going back to Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was really hoping to at least pay for the chassis and then only carry over the bed cost, but now
Okay.
we didn't get any of the above, so now we got to pay for both of it now.
Rick, what else you got? I'm good till page 6.
I got page 3,
Okay.
just, and gas. I just have one thing highlighted, the engineer architect. It says $35,000, and I think the notes say it's the new building decision.
Yeah, we're going to have to hire somebody to do plans for us for the building, and I don't know how much it's going to cost, so I just plugged in $35,000.
But does that go into the gas account, or?
That's what we're going to take it out of, is the gas account.
Are you getting the appropriation packet? Is that what you're looking at?
I'm just, what you'll rule on.
Oh, okay.
Page,
All right.
We're on page 3.
Page
Got it.
That was your question, Rick, like why the gas account?
Yeah, why the
Yeah,
gas
I
account?
think it's because of
You
the
can
games
use
that you
the
have to
gas
play.
account, the motor vehicle license fund, the permissive motor vehicle license fund, the road levy, and the road and bridge fund. So you can use any of those funds to pay for capital. I'm sorry, not road and bridge. So the gas tax is usually our highest fund balance. So that's why I use that one.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got nothing else until page 5, which is cemetery fund. We did a transfer in of, what, 39,000? My question is, why are we transferring money in if we've got a cash balance of 58,000? Why do we need to transfer money in?
I haven't transferred it yet. That's only if we need to transfer it.
Well, why would we need a transfer in the budget if we've got a cash balance of 58,000?
Because last year we only received 57,000 of the money that we budgeted, and we spent 87. So I didn't want to take the chance that we weren't going to have enough money in that account, so I plugged it in case we needed it. We don't have to transfer it. We can if we want to. It's in the budget to do it. It's been approved that way, so we don't have to go back to the board and ask for it to be transferred.
And that's from the general fund?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then can you refresh us, what's the difference between that other cemetery account, the bequest one? That's where they buy the plots, is that right?
The cemetery bequest fund was left to us.
Yeah, this one?
The cemetery bequest fund was left to us by someone, I don't know, years ago, and we can use it for any purpose. We typically use it for projects. Like this last time, we used it for, we replaced the storm pipe that was underneath the culverts, the driveway culverts underneath our driveways. So we paid for the one to be replaced at Montgomery Road, and then again the other entrance. So I don't know, it was like $10,000. So this time we had set aside last year to do $10,000 to replace rebuild the chapel, but
Yeah.
then we had a hard time getting somebody to come out and quote us the work. So then we just kind of put it on hold. And then as soon as we deal with the service department garage, then we'll try to go back and get somebody to give us a bid on doing the chapel work too.
Okay. Does this happen a lot with this guy? Is that it? You gonna do something about it there, big guy? Mike's on a case. Trip and fall and stumble. Rick, go ahead, man.
Yeah, as long as we have the cash balance, you just never know how much revenue you're going to take in, and we've been slowly taking in less and less money every year. So that's one of those things, we're just either going to have to figure out another revenue source to fund it, or we just keep transferring money out of the general fund.
Okay.
So Kim, in the Parks Fund, the capital outlay repair to buildings, 150K. That's for the Mead House?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know how much that's gonna cost. I don't know what repairs we're gonna need to make. I plugged in a number. I have no idea if I'm remotely close or if I'm way off. I have no idea.
Do we get like bids for that? Or?
Yeah, we'll get bids,
Okay.
but we're still waiting on Hardline's design to finish what they started on that project. So they're only about halfway done. So I just had sent an email to Teresa asking her, you know, like what's the status of that? And she said that she plans on getting something out to us by mid-March. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna phase it out for us, like phase 1, here's what we gotta fix, here's how much we think it's gonna cost, and then she's gonna do phase 2, same thing, and then phase 3, same thing.
That's gonna be a beautiful project.
What's the plan to
Yeah.
use it? How are we going to use it then?
The trustees want to use it as an event center, so like we would rent it out for
It's gonna make a lot
parties.
of money.
Does it have a kitchen?
Mm-hmm. It's got a
So you
small
could do
kitchen.
A modest wedding?
Yes. You do
Okay.
a lot of things. It's gonna be beautiful.
Cool.
Nice.
On that same page, for what it's worth, before we move on, I saw the notes down there with the asterisks that, you know, you could raise the fees per player and stuff like that. For what it's worth, I vote we keep them low. It just doesn't seem like a big difference
Right.
for what,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that? Yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
I mean-
you know, if you got to pay, if a church or a nonprofit needs to come in, keep those costs minimal, but it seems fair to cover the expenses, doesn't it? So that's my input on those two remarks.
Yeah, I definitely agree on the parks. The fields, the only thing I would say is if there's a lot of different groups that want it, it might make sense to raise it. Otherwise, if we keep it low, whoever's got it now just kind of gets much better prices than anybody else can get. And kind of,
That's a benefit of living here.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
We try to accommodate everybody. We actually normally do if someone, we fit them in somewhere.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, that's, if it ever got to the point where you're like, I've got 5 groups and I can only accommodate 3 of them, well then, probably not charging enough because they could go somewhere else and they're all coming here,
Yeah.
so make sure it's at least close to what the market price would be.
At one time, we had a select baseball team that would come in and use our fields, and then they would charge other people to
Oh, they were subleasing?
subleasing our fields.
They had their reservations.
Yeah,
Seriously?
and they were
funny.
making money off of
Yeah,
us.
they sold them.
No?
Did we allow that? Or?
No, we
No,
squashed it.
as soon as we
Yeah.
found out.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
But it took us
Come on,
20 years
man.
to figure it out.
That's, I mean, that's
It's
kind of where
enterprising.
I'm going with it, is you don't want it to be such a good deal that people are taking advantage of it versus what they pay somewhere else. But I agree, if it's the park shelter, you know, if it's park shelters and it's churches and nonprofits or whatever, there's no reason in our current financial situation we need to take more money from citizens
Right.
that we don't need.
Kim, in the police fund, page 8, we owe other government a bunch of money.
That's payment to Hamilton County.
Do they not care?
What do you mean?
They don't care if we don't pay them?
We pay them.
What do you mean,
We get
Rick?
a bill every month for services.
Well, this says we budgeted 600,000 last year, and we only paid 382.
Oh, we pay out of 2 different funds. So we pay out of the safety services levy, and then we pay the remainder out of the police levy. So what I did is I just paid every bit that I could out of the safety services levy.
Okay.
And then when that line item ran out, then I moved it over to 2191 and paid the rest out. And we even had a little bit left over.
Okay, so we're current with that.
Yep.
I was shocked to think that they would let us.
Oh, no, they don't
No,
let
I
us,
don't have
they
to.
don't let us skate.
That note would help. That's a good note to put in here.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to remember all that. Okay. Fire, Rick?
Safety services, it's the same thing then, it's the police. you
Yep.
know, the same explanation. Did we, I'm now jumping to page 13, safety services. 760-210, building station 60 and 61. So the replacement windows we're doing, so that budget increased, did we get a different bid or what happened there?
No, we had gotten an original cost for 25,000.
Yeah.
But we didn't do it last year, so we moved it to this year, and so I bumped it up just in case, which I know I probably won't even get it for 32. I mean, I don't know. Everything's so much more expensive than it ever has been in the past that we'll be lucky if we get it for 32.
You'll be lucky if you get it done this year.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Because the contractors are so far behind that, you know. I mean,
Yep.
if you want a pool, you're looking at 2023, maybe.
Right.
Okay.
I'll put a pool at the meat house.
No, I'm just saying that, you know, there are people that decided they're not going on vacations and they're gonna buy pools for their
Yeah,
backyard.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And now they
true.
can't even get that. And the kids are like, well, what's going on?
Yeah, well, when they're increasing the bids, they originally said, oh, put in a pool for this amount, and then they call back like, yeah, it's gonna be another 20,000.
Oh, man.
I'm sure you still want it, 'cause if you don't, somebody else will take it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to slip out in a minute. You missed that.
All this money. I don't know. Where's
Yeah.
all this money
Mark, you have my
coming from?
proxy, okay?
I don't know.
Fair.
Okay.
For what?
All this extra money that
Yeah.
people like go pay for a pool.
Yeah.
Like if they called me and said extra 20 grand for a pool, I'd be like, no thank you.
Yeah,
Probably
I don't
some
know.
are, Jody.
Crazy.
Because they deferred their
Right.
European vacation.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
In
There's
part.
a lot of canceled vacations, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still an extra, if you had a bid of 20,000 and then they told you it was going to be 40,000, I'd be like, I'll go on vacation and do it next year.
Well, what the contractors will tell
I
you
gotta split.
is
You missed
then
my
we'll just
explanation
cancel
earlier,
your
but I just
contract,
gotta leave, so.
and we'll give you your
Leaving you in
deposit
good
back.
hands here.
Because they're getting,
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, thank you.
Jody, they're getting
Thank you,
increased
Larry.
cost of materials, and they just decided they're not gonna eat it. They're not a 503C, not-for-profit, so they're gonna charge more. Fire and rescue, that fund is like, has 35,000 in it. Can we get rid of that fund and just move that money to somewhere else?
Well, I plan to because I think next year we have budgeted to replace one of the medic units, which is going to cost about $350,000. So at that time, we'll just go ahead and use up that fire and rescue fund.
Okay.
And then we'll just, I mean, it will have that fund available in case we ever get any money. But it'll just be back to zero.
Page 18, the Fields Erdel TIF. We're still $10,000 for legal counsel. You just roll that 10,000 over year to year, or?
Yeah, well, last year I think I had it less than that, but, or did I? I can't remember what I had.
We had these.
Oh, yeah, I put some in there, and then, yeah, because every year we have
See you, Larry.
we have an annual report that's due because of the TIF account. And then this past year, I know the fees aren't in here but when I did this report, we hadn't paid the bill yet.
Ah,
But we had, Dinsmore and Shoal had billed us for our TIF extension costs.
okay. And the last thing I have on my list is a cemetery bequest fund. Are we not doing the chapel restoration?
No, that's the one we just talked about, that we're kind of having to put it on the back burner because we couldn't get bids. We couldn't get anybody to come out and give us a bid. So we're just going to do the service department garage first, and then we think the same company that's going to do that is going to do the chapel. So we'll just do that second. So it might not be till 2023 when we get that done.
When is the service garage going to be finished?
Well, we're hoping to start it this year,
And
but I don't know when
What's the
it'll.
budget on that thing?
I don't know. We don't know. We have to have somebody design it first, and then we'll get a cost.
Okay. But we think it could happen this year?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
I have great hope for a lot of things,
Yeah.
but doesn't always materialize.
Right. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions?
The only question I had was on the investment side with Meter, given we got a little bit more money than we thought. I don't know if you've looked at how much we've got with them and whether it makes sense to move anything else out of checking over there or not. We haven't talked about that in a while.
He actually called me was it 2 weeks ago, and wanted to know when we were moving some of our money. And I was hesitant. I didn't know. He wants me to send him like what our balances are at the end of 20, I think, and that what the balance was at the end of 21. So he can recommend what he thinks based on our cash flow. So I will do that.
Okay.
I just haven't done it yet.
It makes sense. I think you just need to give him the perspective of here's how much lower 2020 spending was from what it usually is because we couldn't get things done, and here's how much we've got sort of, delayed that could all come through. And
right. Yeah, and I told him
there's
that
something to factor it in, or when he gives us a number, we can say, hey, we're going to shave this amount off to make sure we don't move too much. I guess it's not that hard to get it back if we need it. But.
Well, that's what I wanted to make sure, is that we were investing in short-term investments versus long-term investments so that we could pull our money back out if we needed to. And so he said there was something that was selling right now where that could happen. I don't know if it was
Usually
this.
if you give Meter an extra $1 million, they're going to spread it over 5 years. So they're going to put 20% 1-year return, 20% 2-year, 20% 3-year.
Right, but I made him, but then I told him, I said that may not,
Yeah.
with all the projects we have going on, we may not need to do that, and you may need to invest. Like he said, there was some short-term commercial paper thing that he could invest in where we could get it back out.
Well, that's with interest rates going up. That's probably actually worth something now. Or for a long time, you put in commercial paper and get like 0% return. It's like
Right.
Close to the bank.
Yep.
But that situation should be getting better.
Yeah, he said it was.
In fact, I saw somewhere they have the maturity chart showing when things are coming due. Yeah, there's 1.7 million in 0 to 1 years maturity. So looks like we've got some flexibility there.
You feel good about the budget for this year, Kim?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really happy that we had to carry over stuff and increase it, because then it looks like we didn't do what we were supposed to do last year, and now it's all heavy this year. So that's probably going to be a concern, but, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I can't do anything about it. So.
I saw where Loveland's going for another levy increase.
Yeah, they're is it on the fire side?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to build a new fire station over there. Because they want to replace 63s, like the older fire station.
The one downtown?
Yeah, the one downtown.
When's the next levy we need to do with anything? Do
It'll
anything
be
expiring?
2025.
Well, that's good.
Yep. So I
feel like we went through a
believe.
lot of waves with that for a while, and
Mhm.
it's kind of been calmer.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
2025 will be our street levy, like the personnel one, and then
Yeah.
the safety services levy again.
Good.
So.
Things continue as is. Doesn't seem like we're going to have to try to pass any increases, right?
Right. We definitely need
Maybe
it
do a
on.
decrease.
Well, we definitely need it on the
We have
street
done
levy
that.
side. Like for road department, we definitely need it on that levy,
Everybody likes that.
but not safety services
Yeah.
probably.
Renewal and decrease always looks good on the ballot.
Does the county let you do that?
Yeah,
Of
we've done
course.
it a couple times.
See, you learn something new every day. I thought you knew it all.
Hamlin County needs to do some of that.
They're not doing that in Hamlin County.
Yeah. They need to do some of that and give back.
No. Wait till the new stadium comes up. Oh, sorry, Phil.
5 years.
I don't think that's happening.
I'll take the.
Now that
order.
they've gone to the Super Bowl, they're going to pass the new
We've
stadium
taken
levy.
too good a care of the existing stadium.
Yeah. You know he wants more.
Build more benches,
Put a roof.
At what point in time do you guys
that would be nice.
think that we should enter into strategic planning for a new administration building? and the means to accomplish that.
I don't know if I would have to do a lot of research on that, because I don't know if I'm into that.
We also talked about reconfiguring this thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which.
But I mean, nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about plans for the future for administration.
Well,
And
what would it
it's a
cost-
woefully inadequate building.
What would it
get right
cost to
down it.
reconfigure this?
We have to survey this, because I don't know what rooms are empty, what rooms the sheriff department use. I
You need
know
to get a
what the
study.
Fire department use. I mean, we have to look at the.
You need to get a
building.
study. You need someone to do an
Yeah.
efficiency evaluation.
Like, I think that's one of the mistakes Jerry, our old administrator, made when we built this building. He didn't move us over here, which I think he should have moved us over here. So, I don't know.
That's my understanding when this building, predates me, but when this building was designed, this whole property,
Yeah.
there was a master plan that showed a new administration building between this building and Mason Montgomery. And coincidentally, that old house, I'll just leave
What's
it at
going on
that.
with that property?
Do we
Is-
own that?
No, I'm
No,
getting an
but it's
appraisal
for
done right
sale.
now. I'm waiting on the appraisal to come back.
What's that thing?
And it's.
What is it? I
it's-
haven't really noticed.
It's
when
just
I've
an old
driven
beat up
past.
It's an old.
house.
I
It's
know.
a very,
What's the
very
property?
old house.
We're having an appraisal done right now.
The track's worth more than real
Yes.
estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the house is condemned.
They condemned it like a month ago or 2 months ago, and so we approached them about possibly purchasing it.
I mean, to answer your question, Joe, I think it always makes sense to have a facilities master plan in your pocket for here's what I would do, and then you can always decide when do I actually want to do something, which in the current construction environment might be not now, but still, you do the study, you do the
Yeah.
work, you figure out, here's what our vision is, and then you can always put it into action when you need to. So I would do it now. I mean, why wait?
Do we have the old master plan still?
I've never been able to find one unless maybe Ott has it.
Okay.
Well, and what Joe's saying, I think, is in today's reality, it's hard to use something that's old with today's cost and, you know,
Started.
security purposes and everything else. I mean, you know, I think you'd have to come up with at least a new study, but I'm also a big proponent of the way Warren County does things, which is they save up and then they purchase, and there's no additional cost. I'm not saying we can totally follow that method, but I think that's the method to try to emulate.
What do you mean versus financing?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
I
ever
agree.
go into debt to build anything.
So,
Well, in our
That-
situation, we shouldn't have to either.
That's my point, that we have a plan.
right.
Not that we have to do it tomorrow, but we keep talking about it, but we never do a plan.
And the plan would also have a dollars attached to it, so we know what we need and when we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think makes sense.
Anything else?
Did I miss a discussion on bylaws? Is there anybody want to fill me in on?
We already threw you off the committee.
Oh, okay. My last meeting, you take me out for drinks, farewell drinks, or what?
You came late. That's in the.
See,
Let's
that's
see.
what happens when you don't show up on
We
time.
need an award.
It's like when
So
you leave the
Pete-
party early, everybody talks about you.
Yeah.
You know.
So Pete, we changed under purpose 1C, we changed the Finance and Audit Committee may be actively involved in the review and discussion of compliance audits.
Okay.
Under 2, membership, A2, we changed township clerk to fiscal officer, because we no longer have that title or whatever. Under D, membership D, we changed it so the service period commences on January 1 and ends on December 31st, and it's usually 5-year terms. And that leads to E. It says 5-year terms on C, but then E had 3-year terms, so we made that match 5. Under officers, number A2, officers shall be elected at the first meeting of the calendar year and take office on the same date. And then meetings, A, number 2, notice to all members shall be given and then delete by phone, not less than 48 hours. Because a lot of it is we do everything by email
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
And that's
My
what
part on
we,
compensation got defeated.
so I don't know if there's anything you had that you wanted to add?
So we're gonna keep the chair and vice chair positions?
Yeah, I think we talked about maybe just electing them at the next meeting,
Okay,
unless you have a different opinion on it.
that's fine with me. I think it makes sense to keep it, and I think, as I said in the email I sent you guys earlier, having then that chair sort of guide the meeting and take input from the committee members beforehand, so it's not always a, let's go question by question, line by line in the meeting. We can have a, hey, we've gathered all the input, we're presenting the outcome of it versus just kind of using the meeting to do that, so. That makes sense. So next meeting in June so that'll be, I guess, the exception to the bylaws, which says we elect at the first meeting of the calendar year. We'll do it in June, and then going forward.
Yeah, we just didn't have everybody here, like you weren't here yet, and then Jody wasn't here yet, and Larry had to leave early, so
Okay.
we just said we would defer that.
Okay. And we'll do it in June, and we'll say it'll be for a term of 1 year, but it'll really be until the next February.
Yeah.
So it'll be a short term at first.
Yep. And then we decided that we were going to meet, were you here for the meeting schedule? February?
No, but he'll be in June 8th and October 12th?
Yep.
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 Okay. That should work for me.
Motion to finish the meeting. Adjourn.
All right, I second that motion.
All right, we're adjourned.
Thank you. Fastest meeting we've had. I feel